Nick, I think we're back on YouTube now. Let's go. We're back on YouTube. Okay, that was way easier than I thought it was going to be. That's actually way easier than I thought it was going to be. It worked. Yay! Well, good. This is the future is now. This is the new future. We will. We only have 5 minutes before the start of the next game. I don't think we actually will have time for open guesser. But we will do it at halftime of this game because that's a more solid 10-minute break. This one is not. We will go through the teams for the next one right now, though. Because I'm sure there's going to be some interesting changes. There always tend to be. Let's see what we got here. No changes in the backs to what was named. Obviously, Ezra Mam is on the bench for the Broncos. Tom Duffy comes in to start at 5'8". Excuse me. YouTube isn't on. YouTube is on. It is on, right? Yeah, YouTube is on. Zane Harrison, he's been the starting halfback at the Titans for a little while now. I don't mind them blooding him. They've not played terribly. I think probably slightly better than their latter position might indicate. But anyway, he's a job doer. Payne Haas back for the Broncos. You love to see it. He was back last week as well. Obviously not the outcome they wanted last week, but they'll have a real point to prove in this one in a bit of a local derby there. Moving on, no other changes to the side. So actually, they didn't make any late changes. That's rare. You don't tend to see that all that much. YouTube is on, right? I can't see comments from YouTube. But I'm literally looking on YouTube and it appears to be on. I think that the chat's just not coming through yet. There we go.
It's on my guy. Just like the heater and hate.
Hate? Why the hate? There ain't no hate coming. What have I ever done in my entire life to ever deserve any hate? I have not said any controversial statements. I have not criticized others for saying controversial statements. Absolutely, it's not my go. It's not my fins. That's, you know what? It might be one of my new favorite comments that I've ever seen on this channel. That's special. That's very special. Are there other ones? None that come to mind. Gloves. Oh yeah, gloves. I'll go get the gloves. There's a special story here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, cars, check it. So, the great Watson, who's in the chat, a regular, if you will, of the channel, is a Canberra Raiders enthusiast and goes to, as far as I'm aware, every Canberra Raiders home game. And she has been working on some gloves for me in recent weeks. She gave it to me yesterday, and they are outstanding. There is a lot to these. So firstly, they're red and blue, Roosters colors. They've each got little chickens, little roosters, chickens, hens, whatever you want, on the back. But check the... hang on. Check the L's. They've got green L's for Leaguie. They're actually beautiful. I love them. I've said this before on so many different creative things that people have done for me. It blows my mind every single time. And I don't know why, as a creator with a frankly quite modest 11,000 subscribers. Like, I know that might seem a lot to some people, but on the grand scheme of YouTube, it's not big. It's very small. And yet, my community is just incredible. And they do so many amazing things. So, thank you so much, Watson. For those who are going to come in handy in the cold Canberra winters here that you yourself are very familiar with. It's going to be great. Hello, Bosty. How you going? Titans haven't lost to Broncos at Suncorp in 2026. Put your house on the Titans. My house is already on the Titans. Speaking of who's going to win this game, let's put a poll up on YouTube. I've certainly tipped Broncos in this one, even though they lost last week. I never know what silly word to call the Titans, though. Broncos is easy. Jeez, Suncorp looks special. Jeez, look, I didn't know that they were 5-7 last year, and they're 5-7 now. That's interesting. Are you streaming it? I'm not showing the game. I'm doing a watch-along live stream. Wait, I know a good name. Okay. Yeah. To be clear, to anyone watching on Twitch being like, oh, I can't wait to watch the rugby league game. So, watch along doesn't mean broadcast of the game. So it's its own thing. All right. So, Mrs. Egg sent me a link to an hour-long compilation of Gordon Ramsay swearing and said that's me watching the Cowboys. I don't know how to feel about that. Probably you should feel like an idiot sandwich. And you should ask, where's the Lachlan lamb sauce? But anyway, stream the game? Yeah, sure, WTF. I'll do it. Just call us the tits at this point. I have in the past, but I feel a little bit etch about doing it. You know what I mean? I feel a little bit etch about doing it. I would love the Titans to win this, though. That would be so funny. I think Rugby League would win if the Titans won this game. Like, I get, obviously, Broncos, the blackout jerseys, very, very cool. Love seeing them, play in it. Love the whole thought process behind it. But it would be so funny. It really would be. So, sick. Watson says, I'm having the leftover caramel slice. Yeah, Watson made some caramel slice for me and the boys yesterday. It was banging. It was so good. Actually outstanding. I've not had caramel slice in a long time. I forgot how good it is. I'm now addicted again. When my exams are done, I'm absolutely buying some from somewhere. The Charlie... this is... Wow. Okay, do you like Charlie Kirk? No. I actively disliked Charlie Kirk when he was knocking about. Still do. Still do. Alrighty. Here come the Brisbane Broncos. Look at Pete Haas. He's got even further. He's got the strapping across the top there. It's not enough for the whole jersey to be blacked out. He needs his forehead to be blacked out as well. That's a special level of commitment. I've got to respect that. I really do. I should wear like a green headband when I do these streams. I think that would actually be pretty boss. I've already got the green sunglasses, which no one has redeemed yet, and someone is certainly going to now redeem. It'll come in a couple moments, and you'll all see that I was proven correct. Or is that reverse psychology? Now no one's going to do it. I actually think that's more likely. Or is that reverse psychology? Now everyone's going to do it. The viewers must pay to see the jersey. That they must. The Titans jersey's not bad either. I like the Titans away jerseys typically. There's the kickoff if you want to sync up with me. We are underway up at Suncorp Stadium for your second game on this Super Saturday. Even the numbers on the ground are outlined in black. That's very cool stuff. So Titans will be forced to work this one out of their own end early on in this game. It's not what you want from a Gold Coast perspective. Pascoe with a good run there up over the 20. That's nice. It's a very, very good run. You haven't unlocked this jersey yet? It is like that, isn't it? It really is. They changed the score bug to make the Broncos background black. They did, which is nice. It's good stuff from them. It's not, the hardest thing in the world to do, but I want to try and figure out, and this is going to be difficult for me to do, but a way to make, like, the scoreboard that I have less just green and more specific to the clubs. I could do it with the numbers on the scoreboard, but that would take a lot of extra effort from me every game, pre-game, so... How much to pay you to only wear the drug dealer sunnies? Do you mean, like, wear them all of the time? Or do you mean wear them and not wear anything else? Those are two very different prospects. All right, here we go. Haas now up over the halfway line. They look good here early on, the Brisbane Broncos. On the fourth here, they get it to Adam Reynolds. Short ball for the back rower there of Jack Gotts. Only wear them? $5. All right, high up in the air. Knocked on there by Keanu Kearney. It's going to be play on 6 more here. They've got the ball out to Ian Arthurs. The cameraman is not across it whatsoever. But it's 6 more here for the Broncos. They're looking great for a try early on here. Stags. Now to find Reynolds. Across for Duffy. Dummies runs himself. Good tackle there from Adama Ho. Adama Ho. Thank you, Ishmael, for following. That is great work from yourself. Much appreciated. Alrighty. So Willison now into the line. Gandhi says, show us the game. I never thought, it never occurred to me to do that you might enjoy watching the game more than watching me. No, so you know how the thumbnail of this video says watch along? That ain't a live broadcast of the game. I am not Fox League. I do not have the rights to it. So you'll be arrested for public indecency, but you'll look like a boss. I don't think I would be arrested for doing it on a live stream because you couldn't actually see anything etch. All right, Arthur's for the line. Oh, I don't think he's got that. He's not got that. Keanu Keeney did brilliantly to get him over the touchline there. The referee, his name is something Cole. I always forget. And he's still not going to page on NRL.com, which is incredible. But anyway, he was close there, Jesse Arthurs. He's rumored to be heading to the Gold Coast. Foot was well in touch. And he grounded it short anyway. Can you stream a game at GIO Stadium? No, because I don't have the licensing to go to the stadium and record a broadcast of it and live stream it. You're not Fox League, but you are Foxy? Oh, that's good. I'm not Channel 9, but I am a 9. Oh, brilliant stuff. Jared Cole? I thought it was Jack Cole, but then I'm like, nah, he plays for Penrith. So, 6-4 here for the Gold Coast. How much you want to bet? You know what? I'll put money on the Charlesie being St. George Dragons fan who was the Leaguie back in the day. It's just, it's so them. It's that humor. Absolutely. And it's funny because the George Dragons fans stopped commenting. Oh, he says no. Oh, okay. Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. I don't know. Back-to-back streams take serious commitment. Oh, mate. 2 games in a row ain't nothing for me. That's pittance. I've done 4 in a row. I have done... that was challenging mentally. Sitting down at this desk and being like, it's going to be me in a room with a studio light and a camera... a microphone 20 centimeters from my face. Not even that, 10 centimeters. Looking into a camera for the next 10 hours. That is... like a weird headspace kind of thing. This, brah, we're chilling. We're chilling. Charlie, you should be banned. Oh, yeah, let's not take too many liberties here. Let's not get too controversial. All right, tackled there is Anderson. I completely forgot what his name was. I was like, hang on, that's not Emmett Shibasaki. Did you tip the Dragons? No. That's Cronulla, right? Dragons Cronulla tomorrow. I tipped Cronulla. Val Holmes, this has just said France a number of times, and I haven't known what to make of it, so I didn't read it out. But he said it that many times, or they have said it so many times, that I have to take notice now. I will also, speaking of long streams, I said this on the Discord. There's a Monday coming up. It's in, I think, 3 weeks' time, where New South Wales and Queensland kids are both on school holidays, and I intend to take the opportunity to do a live stream on Leaguie games where I play the entirety of Grand Theft Auto 5 in one sitting. I've played that game deathless before. I have played that game in one go before, and it nearly killed me, and I hated it. And it made me physically ill for several days afterwards. I felt just horrible. Absolutely just putrid. It was not fun. But I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to do it live on stream. So that's going to be like I don't know, 16 hours or something? I don't know how long it's going to take. But it's going to take me a long, long time. Even me, who I can play the game very quickly. But yeah, it's going to be very fun. So, Leaguie Games enthusiasts, check it. we're 50 subscribers away from 1K on that, and I would love to be able to get donations throughout that stream. So I'm going to do a bit of a push in the weeks leading up to it to get subscribers over there. If you know what? Why don't we start now? Why don't we start now? I'm going to get the channel link up. Anyway. We're now in the hands of the Brisbane Broncos. It's Jack Goss up to nearly the halfway line there. Good stuff from them. I said whoever threw that paper, Aramaho. I don't know what that reference is, to be honest. Oh, Anderson, good pass there to fight Karapani. For the corner, back inside. Tackled there by Keanu Keeney. Still 2 tackles left to go here. There's a heap of space out there. They can't go out and find it. All right, now in the hands of Payne Haas. Thought I heard 6 again. I didn't hear 6 again. Do you mean beating the main story or 100%ing the game? So like all the side missions and stuff. I definitely don't mean 100%ing because there's like a lot of collectibles in that. I do mean the main story. However, I suspect that I will get to the end of the main story and then play all the side missions. I will really have to see how I'm going. Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube and you're not already subscribed to my gaming channel, because I've not done a lot of content on it since the off-season, I've just chucked the link in there. I've chucked the link in there. Would be massively, massively appreciated. We're going to make a big push around it in the off-season, so. All good, Dean. See you later. Do Leaguie games Subnautica. In the off-season, I'm keen to do a lot of different things with it. Hasman says, admittedly, I have a little bit of respect for Charlie Kirk. He stuck his neck out for what he believed in. He certainly did. That he did. It's, yeah. Wow. Yeah. I guess, though, he probably, in hindsight, didn't end up being the silver bullet that the conservative movement over there wanted. Anyway, now in the hands of Pakes. Leaguie, would you be open to Super League rigged playoffs and follow the Premier League format that leads to Champions League run by NRL between top 4 Super League and top 4 NRL? I think the more Super League teams play NRL teams, the better. I'd be open to it for sure. I don't really like first past the post systems. I think that having grand finals is a good thing. And if I were to restructure the Premier League, I would love to have like a grand final at the end. But it's just not the culture over there, I know. Oh, geez, DeGroat's picked it up. He's, they're going to roll a knock on there. Double knock on. But DeGroat was away. No, sorry, not DeGroat. Brisbane. DeGroat is not playing. I just thought it looked like DeGroat. Name one stream live broadcast instead of Watchalong. Like a fly trap. Oh, sorry. Name one stream live broadcast instead of a Watchalong, like a fly trap for Pirates. That's pretty funny, actually. That's actually really funny. I should do that. First past the post sounds bad. Yeah, I don't like it very much. I don't like it. Sea Phantom says, I'm finished crying. Let's just let this have a good game. Yeah, well, it'll be entertaining. Although that said, I thought we'd get a bit of a tri-fest. And we've had 10 minutes gone. Oh, geez, Pasco. Look at that. He's really getting his Titans up there. It was up and about. We've had 10 minutes gone. And we haven't got a single try yet. My Gen Z coded attention span is not enjoying this so far. I need engagement. I need entertainment. And I need points keeping up with the clock. Val Holmes' disliker is just naming countries, and I actually kind of love it. On the other end of grifter politics, through here is Cooper Byers. Shout out him with a green headgear. Pass back to find Tino, who stands in the tackle. Ball comes free. He's held it. Ooh, it's going to be ruled a knock on against Tino. He can challenge it. He's the captain. Anyway, other end of grifter politics, did you see the recent Piker controversy? Said some very racist stuff and said a Singaporean critic of his should be executed. No, I didn't. I have made my thoughts very, very clear, though, in the past, that I really don't like him. On a number of levels, not just his political opinions are one thing, but I think he's a massive hypocrite. He's built his career off reaction content and claims to be a socialist. Those two things are fundamentally at odds with one another. He literally has built a career off taking the labor of others, not compensating them whatsoever, and using it for his own financial gain. And claims to be a socialist. Absolute hypocrite. Doesn't practice what he preaches whatsoever. So, yeah. Anyway. Honestly, Pasco's energy is what the Titans need. They need the drive like they had against the Eels. Yeah, I mean, that obviously the Eels were pretty putrid that day. But yeah, a player getting his teammates up and about, of course, everyone needs that. Everyone needs that. Who, what, and which two things just joined? We were talking about Hassan Parker. I don't remember the two things, though. But we're talking about Hassan Parker. Anyway, Karapani tackled just behind the try line. So they're doing good here. The Tigers to survive. Broncos very much on top in terms of momentum and physical dominance, but it's Gold Coast who I think would take the opening exchanges, given that it's still 0-0. Yeah, that's the case, Tiger Walker. They've been on the ropes, but they've held them out. So I've said it before and I'll say it again. Piker is just a left-wing Charlie Kirk, only instead of debating at colleges, he does it from his bedroom. Sure. Yeah. I'll back that. Political reactions channel coming when, says Brent. I don't think that's a world that I could go into. Well, I don't know. I don't think I'm educated enough on the topic. But you know what's funny? Okay, so this is being knocked on by the Broncos and kicked over the sideline. This is something that my favorite YouTuber, Dark Viper AU, often says. I feel that I couldn't do political commentary content because I don't know enough about politics. I'm not informed enough about it to actually do it. And I'm like, I could learn more about it and then do it, but I will never feel like I know enough to actually, come out and make those claims. Yet, I feel that probably 90% of political commentators would maybe know less than me about it and be able to argue their points less good than I can. Less goodly. Less with, with smaller words. I have the best words, frankly. Quite frankly, folks. But anyway. But they just go and do it. And they don't really care about whether they're educated or right or wrong, but they want to be entertaining and they want to get those reactions and get that engagement. So I think it's actually like I'm too honorable, maybe. I know that kind of sounds like I'm pumping up my own tires, but I don't think I could do it because of that perspective. You know what I mean? Titans on the attack here. They've got 2 tackles left. They're right on the Broncos try line. Please score a try here. It would be so funny. So funny. I do enjoy, though, doing my own little bit of activism in the NRL space. The limited amount that I can. A lot of people don't like it, though, but I do. Campbell kicking behind. Walsh has done well there and has escaped the in goal. Fermor was all over it, but Reece Walsh has done so well. Beautiful stuff. Leaguie, what do you think will be a bigger upset? Titans beat Broncos, Tigers beat Panthers, or Dragons beat Sharks? Tigers beating Panthers for sure. What is Lucy in the sky with? Diamantes. Isn't Dark Viper that guy who said the N-word? Yes, he is. Actually, twice. But not in... both times completely accidentally. Cameron Serraldo style. So, yeah. He's an extremely honorable and virtuous person. He has the patience of a saint, that guy. I've taken a lot of creative inspiration from him in terms of my own live streaming. Even what I end my streams by saying, which is, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hanging out. And we'll talk to you all later. Bye. That is a variation of what he does. It's not the same, but it's very, very similar to what he does. So, when you say the Cameron Serraldo word, what is the word? You know what the word is. You know what it is. And the fact that you know... The reason why I know that you know what it is because I didn't say the Cameron Serraldo word. Problem says, I have a theory about why the refs make controversial calls. They might be directed to in some under-the-table deal to be able to have the journos and media sell more papers. I don't think so. I think that a conspiracy like that would be very difficult to cover up. And I naturally kind of believe in the system, but I think that that's a bit beyond the pale, to be honest. It's not impossible, but I think very, very, very unlikely. That Serraldo slip-up was like the last thing we needed, especially during the slump we were in. I don't think it really had that much material impact. To be honest, I think probably 50% of people who call themselves NRL fans never even heard about it. Duffy off for a HIA, so Ezra Mann will come onto the field. Lads, we're officially more than halfway through the 2026 NRL season. I know it's tragic, lads and lasses. But I do have a video coming out probably Tuesday, if I can get it done in time, on midway marks for the season. The fact that, excuse me, the fact that we've got a game on Monday is not good for me in that department. I would have loved 3 games today instead, but anyway. Has she got electric boots? A mohair suit? I read so in a magazine. Betty and the Jets. Liam Murphy says, I'm pretty sure I have almost the complete opposite political opinions to you. Interesting. That doesn't surprise me. I don't really... Like, I'm certainly not far left, if that's what you mean. But I don't know what you mean. But, yeah, it doesn't make me right or you right. Which, actually, me having that reaction is another reason why I could never be a political commentator. Because that is way too nuanced. I'm admitting I might be wrong. They never do that. David Pocock, only Polly questioning both left and right with gambling in sports, and Polly's working for gas giants. Certainly on gambling, Pocock is very, very good. And I'm working on a bit of a project around that and trying to get an interview with David Pocock, which I could do because I'm in Canberra. Like, it's not difficult for me. I don't think it will happen, but I am trying to make it happen. I would love to get, or even just like a comment from him or something. But anyway, he's obviously got much better things to do, but I'm trying. Why not? Good catch there from Phil Sami, Future Dragon. Do you like communism? No, I do not like communism. I would describe myself as a social democrat, which means that I believe in socialist policies, but within a capitalist system. Fundamentally, I think capitalism is something we have to have, but I do believe in socialist policies. Really, that is pretty much what Australia is. We have a huge social safety net that operates in a capitalist system. I quite like that. So yeah. Alrighty. Has says, I love it when we call them Pollies, because whenever one gets in trouble, I imagine a parrot and I think Squawk, Polly won a scandal. I will say, I first thought Polynesian, and I was like, I'm pretty sure David Pocock isn't Polynesian. But anyway, Walsh across now to find Karapani. Can't beat his opposite man there in Jojo. Dean says, I'm very conservative on a lot of things, but centrist on other things, just as long as Manly is gone out of the comp the same year as Rabbits is the main issue. This man has priorities, and I love that. I love it. All right, up to the halfway line here. Walsh is in a dummy half. Goes to the right-hand side to find Piakura, whose blonde hair is still confusing me, but anyway. Here we go. Now to find Walsh. Short ball, Grzewski. Pocock's alright. An AFL independent content creator and comedian named Broden Kelly did an interview with Pocock on the gambling ad reforms. How big was Broden Kelly? So George Dragons fan says, can you ban me for 1 minute? Happily. Yes, I can do that, for sure. It's 6 more here for the Brisbane Broncos, by the way. Another 6 again here. We've got a whistle here. Oh, it's going to be a penalty Broncos now. That's going to be the ruling. Brad says, I did see Tony Abbott on Thursday. It was his first address as president of the Libs, and he discussed his plan to make the Libs competitive again. M-L-C-A? Milka? Could never be Magon. Just one moment here. He's like the AFL version of Bloke or Guru, but he's taking a break this year. Okay, so that's slightly bigger than me. Might not be able to get a one-on-one interview then. But I'll try. I'll try. Alright. Played here by Willison. Now in the hands of Pakes. Haas. Finds Reynolds. Oh, out to find Stays. Did well to hold it. Can't beat his opposite man, but does get a pass away. Arthurs. I can't speak. I actually can't speak. How are they surviving here, the Gold Coast? I don't know if they survive this one, though. Reynolds, it's an open defensive line. Straight through. Piakura, try. It was bound to happen. They survived 20 minutes, pretty much, of defending their own try line. Brisbane bound to score the first try. And it's through Piakura. Broncos lead by 4. Or at least for the first 20 minutes, they keep fighting every second. The Broncos fan celebration is so cringy and corny. I agree. However, I like that we have it. The more that we have things in the game that the individual fan bases love, but that everyone else hates, the better. Because that's what it's about. That's what it's all about.
Well, that's why you get the big bucks, baby.
George Washington died?
He did? Really? Damn. That sucks. Can't believe I found out like this. Anyway, thoughts on Dry July? It's not what it was supposed to be, but it's a good thing. I don't know actually what it is actually going to be. It seems like it's going to be one game, and they spoke about a big birthday party. So it's not really going to be a month. I'm confused about it, to be honest, but anyway. Sorry, I'm just a bit rattled that George Washington's dead. That's... Damn. Fun fact, former NRL player Ian Roberts once starred in a 2012 film called Hate Crime as a neo-Nazi, which was banned in the UK for its heavy depiction of anti-Semitism. Shout out. That's an interesting mix, because obviously Ian Roberts, the only first-grade player to be openly gay in the NRL, so interesting. I will not ban you for another minute as a George Dragons fan. Just takes too much effort. Don't care. Mario says, the only way to secure the future is for large elements of the population to have a large ownership in the economic structure. Like I said, socialist policies in a capitalist system, yes. Anyway, the Broncos are away here through Ezra Mam. He's got support outside through Karapani. Just decided, you know what, Brev, I ain't going to pass the ball. He did well. He broke a few tackles, but was like, Karapani, no. You ain't getting the ball. Yeah, go ahead, Tiger. Feel free. Ban him for 5 minutes if you want. That's what he's asked for there. Kuzeski across the 5 Stags for the corner. Katoni. I think he scored it. I think he stayed in the field of play. Katoni Stags. They love him up there in Brisbane. He's doubled their lead. Damn. Are you watching the game right now? No, I'm just kind of vibing it. No, I am, Mia. I am watching the game. I'm not showing the game, but I am watching the game, yes.
Well, that's why you get the big bucks, baby. That's why you get the big bucks.
Cage fight with Hassan plus I dubs 3 plus Asman who win.
Okay, Asman folds instantly because that man is a twig and has never seen any physical contact in his life. I absolutely believe that if you did touch Asmongold, he would actually disintegrate. He's got to be the flakiest man alive. Hassan would win based on that physique, but like, Jesus, we're weird about him. Let's see if Sags has stayed in. I will say that he has. On first look, I certainly thought he had. In. That's great work. That's great work from Katoni. Good stuff. Great stuff. Queensland Day Sports Update. Ice hockey team won by 5. Rugby Union team got smashed. Brisbane won the AFL Derby and are narrowly ahead in the Netball Derby. The Rugby Union team, is that Reds? And that's their finals. I don't care, but I heard yesterday. How do you feel about Ponga not being about to play Origin Game 2? Have they ruled him out based on his shoulder thing yesterday? It's not a field goal, by the way. It's just a normal goal. Have they ruled him out? Or is that not confirmed yet? Yeah, it's done so well to stay in field there. Just one sec. You'll have some chair content for a sec. Back in a moment. Alrighty. In some brilliant news, by the way, for chair enthusiasts, I will be doing game 2 and probably 3 of Origin as chair streams. They were one of my, back in the day, one of my most successful set of streams ever. Where literally, all it was watch a chair, watch State of Origin. I don't know why it was successful, not a clue, but you lot seem to like it. So, I might do it as a Discord-only stream, but I'll see. Asmongold's literally as frail as Mr. Burns, bro, be crushed to death in a pile of balloons. Yep, although I don't think he's seen many balloons in his time, because I don't think people have really celebrated his achievements. He's the worst of the reaction streamers by far. By far. And it's the one thing that I probably hate the most on the internet. So. Yeah, anyway. Can I join Discord? Yeah, go into the description of my YouTube channel and you'll be able to find it. Or go on my Twitch chat and do !Discord. Apparently the link's not working for everyone. I don't know.
Well, that's why you get the big bucks. That's why you get the big bucks.
We are Jerry A. Kirk.
You are. Let's just go with that. I won't say anything more. I don't think people have celebrated his achievements. You say that like he has achievements to celebrate. So true, my king. So true. All right, kick from inside 40. It's not got the angle, unfortunately. It had the length for 40-20. But Titans, I think they've really got to score next, or they risk this game getting away from them. Toby says, I'm stupid for tipping Titans. I mean, I would like to pump up your tires a little bit. Say, you're not stupid. You know, it's rugby league. It's just a decision. It doesn't define who you are. But in this case, yes, no, you're actually a little bit stupid. Yeah, no, you are. But there comes a point where one should maybe never tip again. I think we might have reached that point, is all I'm saying. Penalty there on Jack Goz to the Gold Coast Titans. What are you watching the game on? I can't watch it. I'm watching it on Foxtel Go. It is not a game on free-to-air, unfortunately, Mia. Leaguie, where does Rugby League reaction content stand with you? Surely for the good of the game? I'm very conflicted. I occupy a space in that discourse where a lot of creators are like, we should be able to do it. You know, it's fair use, it's fair dealing, whatever. The game are hurting themselves. And I do think that the game would be better off with more ability for content creators to use clips from games, for sure. However, I'm in a really weird space of being legally informed on the topic and seemingly being one of the only creators who actually questions why we can't use the clips. Obviously, Foxtel and Channel 9, the money that they give the game runs the game. And they pay a lot of money to be able to produce and have exclusive rights to those clips. If the NRL were to give that away, they'd have to sacrifice a lot of money that is in the game. That has a big impact on the amount you can invest into the game, and therefore the good of the game. So it's very much a double-edged sword. And I probably do ultimately think that if, you know, we're looking at a massive financial, you know, sacrifice, I don't know that content creators being able to use clips to react to is a price worth paying. How many junior clubs are we no longer investing in so that I can go on Instagram and go, oh my god, what a try. You know what I mean? So, yeah. It's always so common to see, like, American reacts to NRL. Like, bro, you have your own division of rugby league. Watch that. Yeah, but they don't know that. They definitely don't know that. Anyone else come over from Mandathanos stream? I don't know who that is. Has Mandathanos said something about me? Has shouted me out, sent you over? It's nice of them to do so if they have. Azdiman, thank you for following over on Twitch. Much appreciated. Alrighty. Reynolds is baying for a knock on, and they're not going to get it here. They were absolutely adamant, though. Moran hit hard as he dropped the ball. No, he's held it beautifully, and it's going to be 6 more here for the Gold Coast. They need to... well, they don't need to score here, but this is the best chance they've had all game long. They could really do with a try here. Well, Piakura is very hurt. Run at him. Run at him. That's the spot. Run straight at Brendan. They're not going that way. They've instead gone the other direction. Salary cap relief for clubs developing their local juniors. I don't agree that that's a good move. Because I made a video on this. As Haas gets it offload to Jack Goss, who loses it backwards. This is a try. This is a Gold Coast Titans try. Out of absolutely nowhere. Titans are in my days. Damn. Look, I go for the Roosters, neither of these teams, but I probably want Gold Coast to win this one, and they've just done a brilliant little bit of play to get that goal advanced. So I've just dropped something else again. I should really stop fiddling with things while I stream. To finish my point, we have a very even competition with the salary cap, but one of the great unspoken inequalities in our game is the size of junior catchment bases. My Sydney Roosters, for instance, we do a great job with player development, but we only have 3 junior clubs. Compare that to Penrith, they have 10 times the amount. They obviously then have better ability to be able to get local junior talent through to first grade. So if you were to give them that, they have that advantage already. That's an advantage that they have. If you were to then give them salary cap compensation on top of that natural advantage, it's making the rich richer. The question I will ask you, if you disagree, is this. You have a level playing field, right? Let's say there's no compensation. You can be Team A or Team B. Team A has 30 junior clubs. Team B has 3 junior clubs. Which one would you rather be? The answer is obviously Team A. So why would we be giving an advantage to Team A in the form of salary cap compensation? At the end of the day. I checked out the Man Did Thanos stream. They didn't shut you out. They're just straight up illegally streaming the game. Report him. Report him. I don't mind. If you need to leave this stream and go report him, report him. Do it. All right, Campbell from in front. Bang. 12 points to 6. It is. Is it a person doing a watch along with the game, or is it just an account streaming the game? Egg says, quote, we have great junior development. So when's your Melbourne International Comedy Festival show coming out? We do, though. Thank you, the League's biggest fan, for following. Here's a fact for you. This is a stat that does not sound true, but it is. Of the Roosters team yesterday, the 19-man squad, 13 players debuted at the Roosters. Of the Penrith Panthers team named for tomorrow, 12 players debuted at the Panthers. One club is regarded as one of the greatest talent developers of all time. The other club buys all of their talent. Weird, isn't it? We also, given that we have 3 junior clubs, we had 3 players in our starting side yesterday who are local juniors. That's not even including... Actually, it would be... Well, Egan Butcher was on the bench. If you include the bench, it's 4. 4 players from 3 junior clubs. Name me a team in the competition that has anywhere close to that ratio. There is none. There cannot be any. We've done a brilliant job with what we've got. I truly believe that. I really, really do. And I would hold that opinion even if I wasn't a Roosters fan. It's just a fact. So... Are they full on streaming the game? Yeah, I mean, it happens. But yeah, report it. Report it and then come back in it. Yes, but where did that 13 come from? What region? Oh, certainly not all of them are local juniors of the eastern suburbs, but they can't be. Bro, we have 3 junior clubs. We have literally nothing to work with. Even, like, we not only do we have the smallest area in the comp, but it is an area that is fundamentally high-class rugby union, not professional athlete style. It's a very unfair comparison to say, or to imply, sorry, that we should be developing as many local juniors as every other team. It's impossible. And yet we're still doing a proportionally brilliant job. What we have done as a club is identified, okay, we obviously can't get talent out of our local area. We will sign players from other places, like we did with Latrell Mitchell up from Taree, or Boyd Cordner from Old Bar. Bring them into our system and develop them into some of the best players in the comp. That's what we do brilliantly. Since you asked, Queensland Reds did lose their semi-final. They've never won a final outside Queensland. And they've never won a single final outside the single season they were champions. That's pretty funny. Why do you think Broncos lost against Dragons? And why do what do you think about the losing streak being broken? They lost because A, Dragons were very up for it, but B, I think they underestimated the Dragons. I think that was quite clear. In terms of the streak being broken, it was always going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen against the Broncos. That was a brilliant win. We like you plays for the Roosters. Okay. I'm a part of the Roosters fan base. You want me to say the Sydney Roosters? I can say it. But anyway. Is that an AI summary of me, St. George Dragons fan, or have you done that? I don't mind it though. It's true. It's correct. Alrighty. St. George Dragons fan, Akinator does know who I am. I did Akinator on stream like a year ago, and Akinator knew who I was. It was... I'm convinced that someone went in and just like put me in manually, but it was weird. It was really weird. But yeah, sure, you can go ahead. Try and get me on Akinator. Alright, Reynolds now. Now to find Payne Haas. And it's going to be an inside 10 call. So 6 again here. Good offload knocked on there by Duffy. I think Harrison's away here. Harrison's away. Goodbye. Harrison scored. I think advantage taken personally. Titans are in. Is it going to be awarded? Okay. No. No, the call is going to say the referee has been advised by the bunker. They're going to go straight back. No try. It's going to be a penalty Broncos. That's a weird one. That's a weird one. But it should have been called to start with. Look, well, in terms of consistency, it should have been called to start with. However, I believe that advantage has been taken. I have a very narrow interpretation of advantage. But anyway. Sharks should be relocated to Adelaide. When relocation comes up, I always talk about Cronulla. So, someone asked in the Twitch chat of the stream, "Why are you being illegal for?" And someone said, "Because F the law." Yep, that'll stand up in court. That'll stand up. Brilliant stuff. Speaking of juniors, if Victoria and WA had local rugby league growth, would it demand their own origin? And what about Watchalong, who's eligible for Victoria? I would love there to be a day where origin is like a big old tournament between all the different states. I think we are lifetimes away from that happening. But it would be cool if you could have Victoria versus WA as like a state of origin curtain raiser style thing. I think that'd go very hard. That'd be great. See, Phantom, you said this thing before. Is it a reference that I'm missing? Anyway. Crazy thing is they only started streaming less than 10 minutes ago. That's odd. But illegal streams, they exist. I'm surprised that it would be as blatant as to just be on Twitch. But anyway, is what it is. Broncos on the attack now. 3.5 minutes left in the first half. In the hands of Duffy. Cut out pass. Knock on there. If it could be 12-6 at halftime, Gold Coast will take that every day of the week. They would love that. Hello, Kat. How you going? Sharks need to get a new CEO. The bloke is too focused on the surroundings of the ground instead of putting some funding into the ground and facilities. It doesn't necessarily mean they need a new CEO, but yeah, certainly the administrative direction of the club should be more focused on the stadium. Straight through here, Phil Sami. Can he beat Reece Walsh? He can! He can! Forget 12-6. Phil Sami, as he pounds the chest, grounds the ball in the end goal, looks at the camera, screams into it, and we're going to be all level up. Hell yeah. Go the Titans. Look at that. 12 points to take. Kick to come. Gold Coast, they're in this up to their eyeballs. Look at this. Phil Sami. Regulation run. What a poor missed tackle. One-on-one with Walsh. Just gets outside him. Easy as you like. Reece pulls up a little bit. Reece Lightning. No match for Phil Sami. It's a brilliant try from the winger. Was it Ben Hunt who missed that? Yeah, really poor effort there from Ben Hunt. Why didn't you stream yesterday? It was the Leaguie Bowl. It was Roosters playing down here in Canberra. I had to be at that one. Akinator didn't get it. I'll try again. He got it a year ago. Admittedly, though, not the first time of asking. Look at that. Hell of a crowd up there as well. I mean, obviously, I know it's a bit of a local affair. But good crowd at Suncorp. Oh, someone commented what Phantom said in the New South Wales Police Force TikTok comment section. That is a brilliant reference. How do you, as a Queenslander, know that? And I don't. Walsh is not happy here. He's absolutely barking orders. Kick from Campbell. Oh, it's come off the boot badly. 12 points to 10 it is. Brisbane beats Gold Coast in AFL. Don't care, mate. Don't care. Where Gold Coast were out and out favourites, and now Brisbane loses to Gold Coast, where Brisbane is the out and out favourite. Calling it now. You know what? I care again. I apologise. You had me in the first half. I'd be so down for that, though. I'd be so down for that. At Jack sucks at literally everything. That is a, I'm going to say parody account of a very big YouTuber. Says Dragons by 50 coming from a Sharks fan. I don't think so. I don't think so. Walsh yelling at Gajeski like J-Gods was the one who missed Sami as the last line of defense. So true. Like how? Well, actually, it wasn't him, though. I think it was Ashley Klein. How could Ashley Klein do this? Can we watch? Not on this channel. I do not have the rights, and I do not intend to be in jail. That is not something I'm going to do, so you can watch the game. Rank the Southeast Queensland clubs. Sunshine Coast Falcons, East Tigers. Go with Gold Coast Suns, Brisbane Lions, Brisbane Roar, Brisbane Heat. Are there any other? Big Bash? I don't think so. I don't know any other teams from Southeast Queensland. Was yesterday the only game where a team didn't concede thus far? Good question. I don't know, but I wondered that yesterday. Is there a side that's been kept to nil this year? I'm going to assume yes. Ipswich Jets, great shout. I'm going to assume that there has been, purely because there was not a big song and dance about the fact that it was the first clean sheet of the year. But I don't remember a game. I'm having a look through the draw here. I mean, Gold Coast are knocked on. It really doesn't matter. That's the end of the half. Broncos round 1 versus Panthers. There we go. Never mind. So it was a long time ago, though. If that was the one and only time up until yesterday. I can't see any in round 8, round 7. I'm looking through. Because obviously under the current rules, like, 32-0 Cowboys beat Dragons. So that's the other one. So, okay, that's why. It's happened a few times. No. Phil Sami was just letting the cameraman know what his pronouns are. That's exactly what he was doing. Yes, precisely. I love that this is 12-10, by the way. This is going to be a really interesting second half. I think next try scorer goes a hell of a long way to winning this game. Yep, we'll do open guess as a Jules Dragons fan. We'll do it. Have you ever thought about changing the team you support? No, I couldn't. Ever. It's not a conscious decision I could make. When the Roosters win, it makes me truly happy for the week ahead. When the Roosters lose, it doesn't make me unhappy or angry, but I do feel negative inside a little bit about it. And a bit down, certainly. It's sad. So I could never just say, okay, those emotions now apply to the Gold Coast Titans. It's not something you can do. Alrighty. So, we're going to play Open Guesser. This is a GeoGuessr replacement, alternative, whatever you want to call it, but it's free. The Twitch channel got banned. Yay, good job, people. Very good job. I'm trying to position it so you can see where I'm guessing, but I don't think that's really doable. Anyway, I'm going to host a game, and we're going to do capital cities. I like the idea of doing capital cities. It gives us something to go off. Multiplayer, host. We'll go up to 7 rounds. Capital cities, yes. This always happens to me. This always happens to me. I don't get it. Okay. The Leaguie. So you guys will be able to join going to openguesser.com and using this code 6E6TT5. I don't know how many people can be in as a maximum, but we'll give you till 8:25 or so, maybe 8:24. And you can play it with me. Do an NRL one. I don't think there's an NRL GeoGuessr base map. Or not OpenGuessr anyway. But yes, you guys can join for free. OpenGuesser.com. You can see it up there. You'll be able to sign up. Well, it's not even sign up. You don't need an account or anything. Already got a couple people in there. That's good stuff. Broncos should be ashamed. They certainly aren't going to be happy with the outcome of that first half, given how dominant they were. But I don't think they'll be ashamed. I don't think they'll be ashamed. There is... Well, like, we'd all get that, though. I'm not... if you could send me DM me a link to it, then sure. Then I'll have a look. But not currently. Damn, we've only got 11 people in. Let's go. This is way more than we normally get. It would be funny if the Broncos lost the tits. That it would. I would love that to happen. Okay, we'll start at 8:24, so we still got a little bit of time. Still got people flying in, actually. We beat the by 49-0. How good? Is that the official ruling? That's brilliant work. That's going to help your for and against massively. All right. We're up to 15. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we got 2 late there. All right. I'm glad I waited. We are all systems go. Capital cities. You know, I'm going to stop the music playing because the Open Guesser has brilliant music. Unmute site. Oh, hell yeah. I love the Open Guesser music. I have no idea where this is, though. There was some text on that wall. Okay. I know what language that is. I've already given up a lot of time, though. There's not a lot doing here. There is not a lot doing. It is definitely not Israel, Madsen. Absolutely not Israel. There's a bit going on down there. There's not even, like, really many signs about. I'm going to go a bit rogue here. Montevideo. Oh, massively off. St. George Dragons fan got it. St. George Dragons fan was the only one. We were all over the gaff. I think someone said Australia. That is very rogue. But yeah, there wasn't really much telling us where that one was. Oh. Oh, I've got this spawn before. I know exactly where this is. I know exactly where this is. I'm going to... I don't want you guys to be able to see it. Until later. Oh, you'll be able to see it anyway, actually. I'll move the camera back in. No, sorry, not the camera. The thing back in a second. But I know where this is. It feels a little bit cheaty. It's Ghana. But there's a specific... I managed to find exactly where it was before. Oh, it's here. I got it. I got it. This is going to be meters away. There we go. Hell yeah. Yeah, the boys. Wow. Oh, no, quite a few people followed. Jack Witt just said, yeah, this is in the middle of the ocean. Shout out. Bro, can we start the live? We are live. It's half time. Where are we? I don't think I'm going to be able to get to a place with a sign quickly enough here. Chicken, you can't see the game. I don't show the game. There's been a lot of people asking that. Think about it. You know how much Fox League pay to be able to have the legal rights to show the game? Respectfully, brother, while I do appreciate your support and all that stuff, I ain't keen to go to jail so that you can watch Broncos and Titans. That's not my shebang. You know what I mean? It's not my shtick. Oh, good though, but yeah, you have to find a legal stream somewhere else. We've only got 18 seconds. I really don't know. I reckon it's somewhere around this part of the world. Maybe I'll go Istanbul, actually. No, Ankara is the... Is Ankara the capital? I think it is. Or was it always the capital? I have no idea. This could be anything. Where was it? Oh. Oh, it was actually Jerusalem. I think I saw a flag there really, really late. But I had no clue. Kat got it right. Bro, what are you doing? We are playing Open Guesser. We tend to do it at halftime of these games. It's 12 points to 10, Broncos to Titans. But it's a nice way of killing a bit of time. This is... not acrylic. Acrylic, I think is the word. Cyrillic. Is that the word I'm looking for? Anyway, it's that kind of alphabet. Ugh. It's not really any things to go off here. Yeah. I don't like this. I'm not confident about anything here. I have a rogue idea, which I might go as like a bit of a Hail Mary strat. I'm bopping it in Mongolia. Could be anything, this. No, I was wrong. I was Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. So George Dragons fans, brilliant, by the way. Gazhevsky, last line of defense. What a name. I'm not doing terribly, but I'm not doing very well either. I'm a long way off the win. Oh, Pepsi, shout out to them. Where the Tyrese Halliburton is this? We can't even move that way. We can only go up here. In here? Wow. Hello. It could be a mean feed at this location. Where the hell are we? Thrill Holidays. 3 days camping tour. Where though? Ugh, we've only got 26 seconds. Chicken Party Boy, unfortunately, you missed the boat to join in the game. But if you type in Open Guesser, you can play by yourself. We've got 14 seconds left, and I have not the foggiest clue where the hell we are. Oh, my days. We're in Budapest. I don't know. Pakistan? How on earth did you get that? How on earth have you got that? There was nothing to go off. There was absolutely nothing to go off. How have you got that then? What a depressing looking beach. Oh, looks a little bit less depressing now. Sunnier day. Okay, so that's... I know that language, certainly. That's Spanish, and we're back to terrible weather. This sign could maybe tell us something. Not really. Oh! Oh! Yep, I've got it. Although, I don't think this is a capital city. I might go like... there. All I'm going off is that it says Chile there. But sometimes the capital cities thing kind of glitches out. Okay, so it was Chile, but like objectively that's not the capital, but it just kind of, yeah. It sometimes weirds out like that. This is the last round. This is the last round. Oh. Okay. Crazy something. Oh. Arabic? I'm going to say that's Arabic. That bus would have been good to be able to see. Nathan Strauss Street. I don't know at all. I think this is gettable, though. Oh. I've got it. I think I've got it anyway. Yeah. I think it's the same as earlier, actually. I think we're in Jerusalem. What's the street name? King George. Any chance I see a King George Street? Probably not. But yeah, I think we're in and around here. Oh, I wasn't far off. Jeez, I could have seen King George Street. I was the close. No, I wasn't the closest. The George Dragons fan still was. Gajewski, last line of defense, got the win. I was 6th. So I was actually bang average. That's not ideal from me. Anyway, that was fun. That was very fun. we do that most streams, really, whenever there's a halftime break or whatever. So I really enjoy doing that. I enjoy that. Problem says I'll take third. Bro, there was some... The Pakistan one... Two people got that. How the hell did you get that? There was not a single piece of information that implied where that actually was. I don't know. I don't get it. If the city looks like the third world, it's in England. Well, it would have to be London, though. So actually, yes, that would make a lot of sense. To be honest, I just guessed. That's an insane guess from you. I did successfully the other day get directly, like, next to a church in the capital of Reunion Island. I was very proud of that. Who's going for Titans? I think most people are. Most people are. Whoever got Pakistan as a prophet, bro, my life for Pakistan. But yes, they are. That was insane. Val, why do you keep saying El Salvador? I don't get it. And France and all this stuff. That doesn't make sense. I don't know what you're trying to say, brother or sister. Bishkek was the most diabolical. It was gettable. Well, actually, it wasn't gettable, was it? There wasn't a lot to go off. It was basically just the alphabet. Cyrillic alphabet. The acrylic alphabet. Jack says, I don't know how I ended up in the ocean. Okay, that's pretty funny, though. All right, so the Titans are out on the field, but the band is still playing here. This is pretty funny. They've got to clear the stage. They ran it way too late. They've got to clear an entire stage. That's hilarious. Reunion Island makes France the closest country to Mauritius. It does. Which is the only reason why I knew what the capital of Reunion Island was. Why do you hate the Titans? The kid is back. Lorenzo, I don't think she's ever played it in her life before, so no. At least London has some resistance. Paris is just way left wing. I don't think that's really why it is the way it is. But anyway. Because El Salvador, but now that you acknowledge it, I have to find another country. Okay, right. So you're saying countries till I acknowledge it. All right. Got it. Oh, Lorenzo says my name was Leaguie's mum. I don't know. Did you finish on top of me? I didn't notice. Anyway, they've cleared that stage way quicker than I thought they would. My God. Good work from them. We've got kickoff, folks. There it is. One more half left of footy for today. 12 points to 10 it is. This game truly does belong to any of these two teams. There's a big call here. Yeah, Randall's going to be held up here. If it's what you ask, then it is what I will do. Although the chat moves way too quickly for me to really be able to do that. Yeah, that'll be a HIA for Chrissy Randall. Walsh is going to get outran. Well, he did by Phil Sami on that try, that's for sure. There was an ice cream brand inside the little place we got dropped in, which was made in Pakistan. How do you know that, though? Like look, okay. I can name Yor Kitty Glyman, a winger who played one game for the Dragons back in 2015. And even I think that is a level of autism that is fundamentally way, way, way below knowing Pakistani ice cream brands. Respectfully, brother, what? Huh? How have you gone and done that then? That is, wow. Wow. Unreal from yourself. All right, Hunson at dummy half now. On the last, they're on the halfway line. They get it back to find Adam Reynolds, who kicks from just inside his own half. Underneath it will be Keanu Keeney. Good catch from the fullback, who catches it, does a little pirouette, and gets to the Broncos' offensive line. I'm using Twitch, sound the alarms. I never use... Oh, I'm using Twitch, sound the alarms. I never use Twitch. No, I don't think there's a need to sound any alarms, especially given that the alarm in my building went off only a couple of streams ago. Let's not be too insensitive about it. That sound barely played. All right. New way. says Val Holmes. I'm going to keep acknowledging countries. You're going to need to find a new one. Let's commentate the game. A minute and a half gone in this second half. Arthur's underneath it. Big pass across to find Walsh. When I see passes like that, especially at Suncorp Stadium, especially that exact spot, I think of a game in 2015, I think it was. Sean Kenny-Dowell trying to pass to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, intercept Darius Boyd. They beat us in the finals. Deeply upsetting. I remember watching that. It was lunchtime at school. In the Netherlands. I was watching the game live in the corner of the canteen with my friends huddled around me. They didn't really know about rugby league, but they knew it meant a lot to me, and I was watching it on my school iPad. That was sick. They were great times. Great times. Mongolia, I've acknowledged. Alrighty. Who do you think will win? Broncos. I tipped them coming into the game. I would continue to go with them now.
Catanello just redeemed. Change the background color. Turn off the lights / black for the all-white soccer team rip.
Not for the, blackout Broncos jersey. Yeah, we'll go with the all whites. Is my light gonna turn off? There we go. You know what? I can do one better. Oh, it's dark. It's a dark one. This is actually way cooler, although I can't really see my camera very well. All right, you're Aussie, right? I am correct. Yes. Okay, here we go. So Curtis Morin with a run there. Randall's still out there on the field. He's now split. I'm surprised that he's not off for a HIA, but anyway, Campbell kicks from inside his own half. Underneath this is going to be the great Jesse Arthurs, who does the exact same pass to find Reece Walsh. Interesting. Good pass there to Josiah. And they're going to start this at about 25 out from their own line. That's good territory from them. And they get another 6 again, although it doesn't really matter at that point. So now Anderson, the number 4, tackled there just beyond the 20-meter line. Sorry, 30-meter line, in fact. Duffy finding Walsh. So Duffy's back on after passing his HA. Egg says, doing an A-League to Australia goalkeeper run on FC26. 17-year-old goalkeeper kick that he put on the 79th minute until getting called into the team in the grand final. 1 versus victory, 3-0. Get told I'm not good and get released. Why? Damn. That sucks for you. Jeez. I can't believe you'd actually do a goalkeeper player career, but that seems so, dreadful to me. Anyway. How do you feel about Reynolds retiring at the end of the season? I think it's a good call from him. Go out while he's still, a very solid player. But he's very old now. Spend time with the family. All right, Campbell's done brilliantly there. Look at that, getting out of the in goal. Using the post, I think, to his advantage there. That's good stuff. The kid says Titans are winning, so that's not quite true. They are down by 2 points, but they're doing well for themselves, for sure. Absolutely. All right, run now from Talmapeu. Here we go. Now from Morin. They're up over the 30-meter line, tackled there by Payne-Haas and Ben Hunt. It's a bit more of a physical battle at the moment, although Campbell kicks from inside the 40 on the 4th. It's not angled brilliantly. Walsh is not really in much of a hurry to get back to it. He's going to be under pressure here from Beau Fermor. Walsh gets away from the back row, though, but still, that was a really good result there if he can get away from... Sorry, if they can get him, but they can't quite after the 10. You know what? That wasn't bad, though. I think that's good work to do the early kick, get him on his bike, and get them trapped sort of around their own 10. Broncos get a win? They might. They're looking good at the moment. They're looking very good at the moment. Bro, you're delayed from my TV. Yep. That will happen. The app I'm watching it on, Foxtel Go, it is naturally delayed. It takes time to go through my streaming service and then through YouTube and then to you. It'll be delayed. That's why I always do a syncing moment at the kickoff. So the clock currently says 34:23 if you do want to sync up with me. Alrighty. So here we go. Reynolds, again, a kick from inside his own half. So it's that physical battle, which is certainly a Broncos style thing. It's a Michael Maguire style thing. Not so much a Gold Coast Titans style thing. Especially when Tino and Mo were off the field. But hang on, Mo Fotuaika is listed as the captain of the Titans on NRL.com. That can't be right. Surely Tino is the captain. They've listed Mo as the captain. What? I don't believe you. Any Titans fans in the... Actually, no. Titans fans don't exist. But surely not, right? Surely not. Okay, here we go. Now in the hands of Campbell. Across. Finding a run from AJ Brimson up over the halfway line. So really just the same territory that both of these sides have had throughout the start of this half. Although that's a midfield bomb rather than the distance style kick. It's going to land on about the 20. I don't know if that was the kick. I don't know. I would have still gone distance there. But anyway, is what it is. Seeing you with no lights on is so weird. It is. I'm going to turn it back on in a minute. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Mo and Tino are co-captains this week. Why? Venezuela. Shout out Venezuela. Country acknowledged. On to the next one. All right. Haas now. Solid run there. Good post-contact meters from the big front rower. Tackled there by Aramaho. Now in the hands of Kajewski. Good tackle from Morin. So this will be the last. Broncos slightly on top in terms of field position. After that kick from Campbell, I really don't think that was the play. But anyway. It's going to land in the hands of Keanu Kearney. Oh, who nearly gets through there. Can't quite beat Ben Tolte. Tolte's done a very important job there. Because that was a good start to the set from Kearney. And he might have been clear if he'd escaped that tackle. Are you saving electricity? Nah. I'm just changing the background color to what was demanded. Which was black. However, we are now so back. Come on, turn on, turn on, turn on. Do you collect footy cards? I don't. Mostly because I don't really care that much about them. Oh, Brimson threw good offload. Oh, they're going to score. They're going to score. The Titans are winning. What the hell? What the hell? Who saw this coming? Gold Coast. God damn. Cleese Haas. Good offload. Oh, is it going to be maybe offload on the ground? I think it kind of was. But anyway, the pass from Brimson was brilliant. They might review it for an offload off the ground, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, so there was a few content creators earlier in the year who were sponsored by the NRL trading cards thing that were like of a similar size to me. And I never expect a sponsorship, of course. But not getting a sponsorship kind of made me not want to do content around it, obviously. But anyway. Brisbane not in grand final this year. I mean, they were the premiers, and I didn't tip them to be in the grand final this year. You know what I will say? And I as bad as my predictions, preseason predictions, have apparently aged, although I think really the only two I've got that badly wrong were Manly, Knights, and Warriors. So that's actually 3. But anyway, aside from those 3, I think they're not terrible. But a lot of people tipped Broncos for minor premiership. A lot of people. I didn't do that. I think I'd still tip them top 4, but anyway. I didn't tip the minor premiership. Lorenzo said Storm. Did I accidentally say Storm? I don't know. But anyway. 816 points to 12. Oh, Storm. Yeah, Storm I got very wrong. My bad. Yes. Good point, actually. But who would... Like, that's not necessarily a bad prediction. Like, who would have tipped the Storm where they are? Frankly, who would have tipped Manly where they are? I wouldn't say Manly, you were going off Seabold still being coach. Yeah, but people won't care about that. I will, in my video where I react to the predictions, I will absolutely explain that, but people won't care. Chicken says, my dad's screaming at me. I'm supposed to be asleep. Maybe go to sleep then if your dad is screaming at you. That's not ideal. Are you friends with Winston Neville? I am friends with Winston Neville. I love Winston. He's a good guy. Very good guy. Curacao? That was the former Netherlands colony, wasn't it? Can I get a shout out for the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic? Is that a real country? No, it's not what I'm aware of. Alrighty. Played here, Phil Sami up over the 20. I can't believe the Titans are winning this. This is actually brilliant. What's your New South Wales origin side? Tyrell Sloan fullback. On the wings that have Setu Tsu and Cody Ramsey. Centers, Drew Hutchison, bring him back. He can do a job in at center. And Carrot Holland, shout out to him. 10-year anniversary of him giving away a penalty in the 24th minute and 34th second for a slow peel against a good other Sutherland Sharks. Halves, I go with Kyle Flanagan at number 6 and at number 7. You got to pick Nathan Cleary. Front row, let's send in. Is Tolte New South Wales eligible? I don't think he is. Let's send in Blake Steep. He's not got his ACL currently intact, but he can do a job. I believe in him. And Fletcher Baker. In at number 9, I'll go with. That's a bit more of a tricky one. Jane Barrel is Queensland, isn't New South Wales eligible. That's the problem. Go with Sammy Verrills. Back row, let's send in a very, very solid Jack Krzyzewski and bring back Ryan Madison. And at lock, Tyron Peachy. Kick from inside the 40. It's not got the angle it needs. Not got the angle it needs, but not a bad kick from Betty Hunt. All right. It was a joke. Okay. Good stuff. Oliver Pascoe. I didn't know he was New South Wales eligible, but he's my 9 for sure. Player agent is giving me a choice of a Romanian side, Farul Constanța, I know them, or a Chinese team. Advice on who to pick, thinking Europe gives me a UEFA chance, some more chance for a Socceroos jersey. I think maybe China's more realistic for an Aussie. But I do know Farul Constanța, so probably go Romania. Tolti is New South Wales eligible. It's from Musselwellbrook. That can't be a real place. There's no way there's a place called Musselwellbrook. But anyway, yeah, then I'm picking the Tolti. I'm picking the Toltinator probably at 5'8", actually. All right. Pass there for Campbell. Oh, the firm ball back inside. Come on, get. Oh, they needed one more. They needed one more to find Harrison. Anyway, this is going to be the last. They're not going to bomb across field. They just gave it to Keeney. Is that forward? I don't know. It's not going to be ruled forward. Brimson kicks in behind. That was one of the all-time great sorry. Let me just refresh. That was one of the all-time worst fifth tackle players I think I've seen in my life. Muswellbrook is real. They just spelled it wrong. Okay, there we go. Are you going to stream the 3rd Division Lithuanian Football League? Not currently planning to, but we'll see. Never say never. Can't rule it out. Oscar. Sorry, brother. Warned you. That's a timeout. Love your stuff. Love your support. But, nah, that's pretty disrespectful towards me. So, yeah. Sorry, Oscar. All right. Can't understand why you wouldn't go through the hands or go to a kick. You had to get the ball out there. It's pretty routine stuff that if you make a break on one edge and you have a play left, get the ball out to the other edge. That ball is going to dribble dead. They got a bit lucky there, the Titans. But instead he went a line back underneath, and then it ended up being a bit of a hospital pass to find Keeney. So, will you watch WWE White House? No, I don't. I don't watch WWE. Norway, shout out. I just subbed tonight. Thank you, Chicken Party. Much appreciated. All right, here we go. Played here by Tamupeu. In the hands of Pascoe. Across to find Campbell. Run from Bo Fermor, who did well in that last set with his little line break there. Pascoe to find Harrison. Back inside. Bit of a hospital pass to find Morin. But anyway, it worked out. Lorenzo, I am also 100% with the tipping, but I would absolutely give up that tipping record if it means that the Titans win this game. Campbell. Oh, he's got space around him. He's still standing here in this tackle. He's got a clear run to the line, Jaden Campbell. Oh, my days. Jaden Campbell has got the Gold Coast Titans 2 scores ahead. Where has this come from? Shout out to them. Have a look at this. We'll potentially have a little bit to look at, but the line just opened up for Jaden Campbell. Love to see it. God damn. He can play. Kid can play. Look at that. It gets away from Anderson. It was. Sorry, was it? No, it was Stags. It was Katoni Stagalicious. Missed that tackle completely. But it changed his angle there beautifully, and then there was space. Space to run into. Jaden Campbell's such a good player. He's such a good player. Chicken Party Boy, don't spam. Come on, don't spam, brother. Thank you. Kira Bass. Thank you, Val Holmes. New country, please. Fun fact, there is 1 degree of separation between me and Deloise Hoyter. I've met him. Oh, I love that. So that name, I think it's a Dutch name, and it would be pronounced Hooter. And he was on Rugby League Live 3 at the Tigers. And me and my little brother used to think it was the funniest thing of all time to refer to him as the halftime hooter. Because, like, there's a halftime hooter. That was... It makes, like... There is no punchline to it. It's not even that funny. But when we were, like, 12, that was the funniest thing in the world. Subbing on halftime hooter. Love to see it. Love to see it. Titans lead by 10. Cleese Haas is currently owning the Broncos poverty franchise. He is. And fundamentally, if you did an analysis of it, if you actually sat and broke down the contributions relative to one another. Who has been the better Haas today? Who has been? Who's been the more impactful Haas brother? Tell you what. It ain't Payne. Probably still is Payne. But it ain't Payne. For the content, I'm saying it ain't Payne. Alright. If the Titans score next, oh lordy. Actually, you know what? It's still kind of... It's not that it doesn't matter, but it doesn't prohibit the Broncos coming back into it. They are the comeback kids, so... Chris Randall failed his HIE. Shock me. Wow. Who would have seen that coming? Probably should have been off on one earlier, but anyway. Did he found the restaurant chain Hooters? That's a different pronunciation of it, but anyway. Oh, knock on there from my boy Cleese. I've just given him so much praise. Jack Goz is down, though. You see, it was not a bit of Haas on Haas action. He ran away from his brother there, but yeah, ball just came free. Who do you think will win the World Cup? Rugby League World Cup, I'm assuming is what you mean. And I'm going with my boys from Tua Samoa. That's the only important World Cup that's taking place this year. I think Ezra's coming back on, is he? What did Oscar do exactly? It's a bit of just random keyboard spam, but he did it 3 times earlier, and I said, please don't do that, or I'll time you out. And then he did it again. Tonga will be huge. They've got an outstanding halfback. I just don't know who their 6 should be. If they can put a Katoni Stags there, I can see it working, but I hope that he doesn't go and play for Australia. I don't know who their 6 would otherwise be. Alright, Walsh now is not tackled there by Tamupeu. This is an important set here. The Titans did great to survive, not conceding any points on their goal line to start this game. They need more of that action here. They've got 23 minutes. They lead by 10. Can't let the Broncos get a sniff here. Iongi failed at 6 last year. I would agree with that. Yeah, he'd be the option, but I think if they can go Sags, they should. They've got an overlap. Oh, that's easy as you like. That's Shelly Peas. Arthur's over in the corner. Too easy. Too easy. (22-16). That is not what you want from a Gold Coast perspective. That was way too easy. That's confidence boosting for the Broncos. They will know they are right back in this fixture. Right back in this fixture. Egg says the Trump World Cup. Personally, I really want Mexico to win it because that would be funny as hell. That would be funny as hell, but I don't think they will, unfortunately. The team I'm going for is Australia. Duh. But in terms of a team with a realistic chance of winning, it would be Netherlands. However, I don't think that I would be tipping them in any capacity. I think they're probably they'd be a top 10 team, but they're not a top 5 team. So, isn't Stags playing for Australia? I don't think he's committed either way. He did play for Australia in the Ashes, but I hope he plays for Tonga. Every single time any player commits to playing for a lower tier nation, Rugby League wins. That's a fact. So, if he can commit to Matima Tonga, I'd love to see that. My tip for winning the Soccer World Cup, you can't go past France, I think. Their squad is incredible. Natu Fainu is the most likely 6 for Tonga. Tolu Kola could be a shout. I wouldn't be a fan of Kola there. Fainu would be a good option, but has he been match fit? Or not? Oh, missed kick from Reynolds, so they still trail by 6. Leaguie, you know how UK Challenge Cup has teams of the British Police, Army, etc. Will the World Cup have a team of ICE agents? Wow. Wow. Maybe. Can't rule it out. International Rugby League is so underrated. Shame it isn't popular. I think it's popular. I think there's a silent minority who don't really like it. I don't know why rugby league fans wouldn't like it, though. It makes no sense to me. But anyway, it's a growing fan base. Wish it was bigger, though. 2010's Netherlands was peaking the World Cup. Oh, mate. Oh. Van Persie, Robben, Schneider, Stom, late career of Van der Sar. Oh, bro. Nigel de Jong. even towards the back end, you saw that, you had a young Frenkie, you had Matthijs de Ligt, Memphis Depay, Jorginho Wijnaldum. Yeah. They're not that anymore, unfortunately. Tragically. What happened to Bo Fermor and AJ Brimson? They were the Titans' best players a few seasons ago. Now they're anonymous. Anonymous is harsh. They're in a side that notoriously underachieve. Also, I think Brimson is playing in his third best position. Fermor, yeah, maybe it is not as good as he once was. But his form was incredible, in fairness. And I just think he's playing maybe to his level at the moment more consistently. Not that peak. They lost to a glorified Real Madrid team in the 2010 final. It was vibes, bro. It was good vibes. Bro's Dutch accent sounds like Trump. I mean, it sounds like a Dutch person speaking Dutch. So, make of that what you will. Yeah, Robert Schneider van Persie. That's how they pronounce that. Has the fact that your dad is on Rugby League Project ever been acknowledged? I don't think I've actually said that. But he is on Rugby League Project. He has a page because of his refereeing, which is pretty cool. One day they will include the Sportshed TV charity match in Rugby League Project, and I will have my own page. Underneath this, high bomb is going to be Reece Walsh. Good take. Keanu Keeney didn't really go up for that one. I acknowledged Kiribati already. Val Holmes, just like him. We've already been there. Oh no, we've already read that one out. Rooster cooked Raiders, can't lie, that we did. It was a great game from us. One of the best performances of our season. The Rugby League World Cup is more of a multicultural World Cup, as most of the people who are playing in it are from Australia, NZ, and England, but have different ethnicities. That's true. However, it's also our only option. I understand how a rugby union fan, or even a fan of any major international sport, would say it's a bit of a joke of a World Cup. Oh, Karapani's in space here. Let's commentate this. He's got support back inside. Can't find it. There's one play left here. Walsh is banging for a penalty here. It's going to be ruled to be the last tackle here. They go back towards man on the short side. Kicking behind. Keeney's got it. Keeney's got it. Brilliant work from the fullback. Yeah, I could see how they would criticize the World Cup for being a bit of a gimmick. Penalty Titans. But it's all we've got. And we don't build a World Cup of, actually all domestic players by shutting out the World Cup we've currently got. We build it by supporting what we've currently got. So it should be called the Multicultural Cup. No, I don't agree with that. I think you need to call it the World Cup until it becomes a true, genuine World Cup. Also, Multicultural Cup just doesn't have the appeal of Rugby League World Cup. You know what I mean? Bring back Talatau Monet, the forgotten Rugby League star for the Dragons of Tonga. He chased someone off a roof with a hammer and was deregistered from the NRL. That was the future of the Dragons. It was an okay player. But yes, I do often think about him. Sort of funny. Alrighty, 17 and a half minutes to go. Pasco's in at dummy half here. They're halfway through the set here, the Gold Coast Titans. Short ball. Oh, it's going to be ruled forward. No. This is... You can't give Broncos, especially late game, these avenues back into the fixture. Yeah, but calling it a World Cup when it's not really a World Cup is a lie, though. I don't think that's a lie. No, it's if you want to call it stretching the truth, you can, but it's not a lie. You do have domestic players from Australia, England, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, France playing. That's a genuine World Cup. So even Fiji has a number of players that were actually born in Fiji. Stephen Crichton's born in Samoa. For those Pacific nations, it's more the exception than the rule. But no, it doesn't make it not worthy of being called a World Cup. It is still worthy of being called a World Cup. If the Roosters wasn't a team, who would you support? Rugby League. Cut out pass to find the corner. Jesse Arthur's tackled there on the 10-meter line. One more to go here. Excuse me, two more to go here. Walsh doesn't get it. It goes over his head. He's not happy about that, Reece Walsh. Here we go. Tackled there is Javier Willison. Pakes Giving it to find Benny Hunt. Short ball for Payne Haas. He gets the ball free. Gets it offload. For the line here is Jack Goz. In fact, it's not. It's Brendan Piakura. His blonde hair confusing me again. Held up. We're going to get a challenge here, are we? Challenge. Okay, while we got the challenge, I'll explain my answer more. If the Roosters were no longer a first grade side, but still existed as a New South Wales Cup side, I would still support the Roosters, just like old Bears fans do. If the Roosters never existed, I would probably have been a Sharks supporter because I was born in Sharks territory. However, if the Roosters never existed, my dad probably would have been a Dragons fan, and therefore I would be a Dragons fan. So there's your answer. However, if the Roosters stopped existing tomorrow and existed in no form, I would support the Raiders. So there's a number of different answers there. Mozambique, shout out to them. Let's see here. Offload back from Payne Haas. I think the rule, they're going to be looking to see if it's been touched here by Jojo. I don't think you can say he's touched that. Yeah. It's going to be inconclusive. I think that's the right call. I've mentioned the missus being Welsh. I've spoken league with her parents, and they have spoken with pride about the Welsh team that nearly beat Oz in the mid-thousands. That team was mostly English-born. Yeah. I think, what's his name? I always forget his name. The dude who commentates for the BBC. He was on the Challenge Cup. Jonathan Davies. I think he was part of that team, was he? Oh, no. If it was 2000s, it would have been actually earlier than that. So, no, never mind. But Jonathan Davies was one of the best Welsh Rugby League players that there's ever been. We're looking at a number of different things in this tackle on Brendan Piakura here. Is it going to be ruled maybe a bit of a hip drop situation? I don't know, Jeff. Do you think we'll ever get another League v Union game like when Wigan battered Bath in the 90s? I remember like 10 years ago, the Kangaroos were trying to set one up against the All Blacks. Okay, it's going to be no ruling out of that. Insufficient evidence. Something that not many people know about is that the Sydney Roosters were once known as the Sydney City Roosters. I think a lot of people know that. Yeah, we've been Eastern Suburbs, we've been Sydney City, we've been Sydney Roosters, obviously. I've only ever known Sydney Roosters, and I like that. I take great pride in the fact that we are Sydney. There's 9 Sydney teams, and we are the one that get to be called Sydney. The timer is stuck. Yes, it is. Why is the timer stuck? I think NRL.com might... Yeah, NRL.com is what has an issue. I'll reset the timer, though. Do Broncos only wear this jumper once a year? Yes. It's a sort of special occasion type thing. Val Holmes says Palestine. Shout out Palestine. There we go. Timer's back. All right, on the 4th here. 15.5 minutes left. Gold Coast lead by 6. Can they hold on? Tino now. I don't think 22 is going to be a winning score for the Titans. I think they need more points. Here we go. Kick here from Jayden Campbell. The contact on him ruled to be okay. Good take there from Reece Walsh. No one really around him, though. Will he get up to about the 30? He will. Chicken says, if I get banned, will I be per entry banned? Or you mean permanently banned? Depends what you do. I hope not. Who are our top 4 NRL players of all time? Kerrod Holland. Kerrod Netherlands. Kerrod Nederland. And Kerrod Beba. All different ways of saying Netherlands. Alrighty. Oh, so you are... something was about a Roosters fan? It's probably, you're a Roosters fan, name every Roosters player or something. Oh, so you're a Roosters fan, name every player to have played for the Roosters. There's 1,248. Good luck. Drew Hutchison. Oh, knock on there. The Titans knock on though as well by Ezra Mann.
That's why you get the big bucks.
I guess to rock in South Africa, my easy race was on ramp.
I think she's back in South Africa and her trip in Asia was something. Titans might have been able to challenge that. Thank you for the donation, though, Kat. Unfortunately, I can't remember how much it was for. My little thing that guides me and normally tells me all the details is not working on today's stream. But thank you so much. Much appreciated. So Broncos ball off the scrum. They're 10 meters away. This is a tremendous opportunity for them to get back into this. All right. Ma'am. Now to find Walsh. That play completely dies. Completely dies out. Let's see what we can do here in defense here, Gold Coast. What have you got? What have you got? All right, now in the hands of Willison. I have no idea, Lorenzo. Absolutely no clue. All right. Reynolds now. Finds Piakura underneath. Close. Gets an offload away. Beautiful try. That's a beautiful try. What an offload. Grant Anderson, the support run through. And they're going to level this up, this whole fixture up with 13 minutes to go. Broncos back in. Ah, chicken party boy. Why? I told you not to do it. And then you said, if I get banned, will I be permanently banned? I said, depends what you do. That sucks, bro. That sucks from you. No, I actually don't care that you've said sorry. You can't just disrespect me like that and say sorry. And I'm like, oh, that's all right. That's all good. I've tied you out for 10 minutes. Sorry. Had to do it. Don't do it. Alrighty. Yeah, what an offload, by the way. That's so good. I hate that they've done it, but it's so good. Is this a high-scoring game? I'd describe this as a high-scoring game, yeah. I would. It would just be so depressing being a Titans fan. Like, could you actually constitutionally imagine it? Like, you would just, like, the little bit of hope that you sometimes get, you just know deep down it is going to be so absolutely cruelly taken away from you in just the most scintillating fashion possible. You are going to crash and burn in a glorious inferno that they'll write about in scriptures until the dawn, the dusk of time. And yet, you week in, week out decide, yet, you know what? These are the boys that I am going to put my emotional faith into. What? Anyway. Damn. Thoughts on Carl Flanagan being the next best thing after Cooper Cronk retired for the Roosters? I don't think anyone described him as the next Cooper Cronk. He was the halfback who played for the Roosters after Cooper Cronk, though. North Korea, shout out to them. New country, please. This is... Oh, sorry. It is depressing, which is why it's so cruel. And they're playing against the team with a mental health awareness jersey. And it's actually probably, like, targeted in that sense. That would make a lot of logical sense. Ah, Jesus. By the way, to those who often watch these streams, I have to say, the new thumbnails worked brilliantly. The views on this stream are up way higher than usual. So thank you everyone who's here. Much appreciated. I stream pretty much every game. Great community to be a part of. We have such fun on these streams, bro. We really do. Played here by Piakura. One more to go in this set. Hunt goes to the right-hand side. Reynolds. Obama up from about 30 meters out. Oh, they're not going to go up for it, the Gold Coast. Oh, but tap back and it ends up in the hands of you-know-who. Is that Jaden Campbell? He's everywhere, bro. He's absolutely everywhere, bro.
He's everywhere, bro.
Say it again.
He's everywhere, bro.
He just does the job. He does the job. Oh, wow. All right. Pasco. Across to find Cooper by. We are all locked up. 10.5 minutes left. Could it be field goal season? Campbell can kick him. Adam Reynolds can kick him. He certainly can. We'll see who comes out on top. Maybe it'll be a try that separates it. Let's see here. They're looking good. Keeney, though, wrapped up there by Anderson and Ezra Mam. 2 more to go here. Ball gets played in the hands of Fotuweka. Across to Fantino. Their ball played to the left-hand side now. Campbell. There's not really a huge overlap there or anything, but Brimson goes back infield. The England international can't get away from Jack Gajewski. 1 more to go in the set. Again, it's in the hands of Jaden Campbell, who puts the ball high up in the air. They're not going to contest this, really, the Titans, but Furmore monsters Reece Walsh on the 20-meter line as he catches that ball. Blues, game 2 halves got leaked. Cleary at 6 and the Roosters, Great Flanagan at 7. We'll win. We'll win the series with that. Oblix Telfer to kick a field goal. Shout out Netherlands eligible Oblix Telfer. Oscar says, I will not spam. Thank you. I hope so. At what point is field goal an option? I saw Luke Keary talk about this. Obviously, one of the most experienced halves in the NRL era, and successful halves. 3 premierships to his name. He said it's from 8 minutes onwards. Look, I respect Luke Keary, but like I know ball. There's levels to this game. I don't agree with him. I think anywhere 10 minutes onwards is field goal time. If you kicked a field goal with 11 minutes left, I wouldn't even have a big issue with that. Get in front. Get psychologically, force the other team into being the team that have to make an action. Right now, that's not the case. Either of these teams have equal responsibility to make an action, but force them to be the team that has to do it. Make them watch that clock tick down with the pressure. I think that's really worth something. So, yeah. Yeah, good shout, Egg. Go Farul. Absolutely. All right, bye now. Not a great run from him. The contact forces him back about 10 meters. All right, Pascoe, though. There's no markers, so he gets all those meters back. Campbell now. If he kept going towards the edge, I think they might have had a chance of a line break there. It's forced back 15 meters there. Comfortably 15 meters. That is brilliant work from Adam Reynolds. That might win them this game, honestly. It's charged down here. This is a disaster for the Gold Coast. It's bounced now. No one can get it except Cooper Bye. And it's going to be a knock-on, is it? Cooper Bye. That's a disaster. That's an absolute unmitigated disaster. They're going to challenge. They have to challenge. They have to challenge something. But it all went wrong. Everything that could have gone wrong in those last 2 plays went wrong. Damn. Oscar, you did the whole lots of characters field goal slam. Not field goal slam. What am I talking about? Keyboard slam and then just send it. I did warn you about it earlier. You said you wouldn't do it, and you did it. So that's why. That's what you did. Please don't do it again. I think that this is just a desperation challenge, to be honest. It would be so important if they can win this challenge, because they'll be able to reset and get to their kick. Yeah, I think they're going to say he's touched that. Yep. Broncos get it. Honestly, off the scrum, I might be tempted to just bop it. Like, why not? Set it up off the scrum play. Let's see if they go for the field goal or the try. I so often see sides not go for the field goal. You've seen me have some generational crash outs about teams not going for the field goal. It makes no sense to me. I don't get it. NRL teams are stupid. Players don't know ball. But we'll see if they do the right thing here. Adam Reynolds, I trust. I trust him. Yeah, all right, Hasman. All right, all right. Okay, here we go. Reynolds feeds the scrum to find Walsh. He dummies, tries to go himself there, can't get an offload away. A try would really make them have one hand on the 2 points in this game. Legmail, Roosters Premiership or Australia win this in World Cup? Oh, that's actually a really interesting one. I think Roosters Premiership, but it's tight for me. All right. Preston Ricky with a run. Tackled by Tino. He's on the third there. Plays it for Pakes. In the hands of Hunt. Now Reynolds. Short ball for Willison. One more to go, I think, before they go for the field goal. So this is the 4th. Pakes out a dummy half. He's over. I don't think he's down, though. No, held up. Held up. Shout out Lorenzo. One more here. They don't... Are they going to go field goal? No, they're not going to. Okay. Reynolds. No, he does from right in front. Easiest field goal of his career. Simple. They didn't go deep. They didn't need to go deep. Absolute gimme 1 point. I don't know what the Titans are doing. Zero pressure on them whatsoever. Broncos get a field goal. Easy as you like. Like shelling peas. And now the Gold Coast with 6.5 minutes left have the pressure on them to do something with this. Bro, why are you rooting against your nation? Because the Kangaroos winning does nothing for my nation. Nothing whatsoever. And them losing does everything for rugby league. So, he went against Kiri's advice too. He kicked it at 7:01 to go. What a rebel. No, Kiri said 8 minutes, to be fair. So, Luke Keary is his premiership winning halves partner would have supported that. All right. So Pake's up over the halfway line. Did Leaguie swear? You are correct. That is a Rugby League Live 3 commentary line. Preston Ricky gets a good offload there to Ben Hunt. This is on the third here. They obviously failed to regain it on the short dropout. Sorry, not short dropout. Short kickoff there. The Gold Coast Titans. Hunt. Oh, dummied one way. He goes the other. Now in the hands of Reynolds. Kick another field goal. Why not? Willison now up over the 30. This will be the last now. 5.5 minutes left. Let's see what they do. Reynolds will just put a little chip over the top there. Forcing Sami, who's nearly over the sideline there, to cower in the corner of the field. This is disaster areas for the Gold Coast Titans. And they're going to be pushed into the in-goal. What effort from the Brisbane Broncos. What effort from them.
You just need one good play.
Broncos, that's the kind of effort that can not only win you a game, but can genuinely turn around your outlook on a season. The poor old Titans, it's just not gone their way whatsoever. Drop out time here. If Cleese kicks a field goal, will you swear? If Cleese kicks a field goal, I will say words that will get me cancelled. Batted back. Oh, jeez, they've nearly recovered it there through Ben Hunt. But they do have the ball, the Titans. They're still coming off their try line through Jojo Fafita here, but that's not what you want. That is not what you want. 4.5 minutes to go here. Cooper Bye with a run. Into the tackle of Willison and Haas, two of the biggest men on the field. He's going to play it here. Through Pascoe to find Tino, the probably third biggest man on the field, if it's not one or two. Kurt Cable has kicked a field goal. I know, I remember it. I remember it very well. On the fourth, they've got to surely spread it here. They don't. Instead, Fotuweka just takes a run. They need something. Not on this play necessarily, but on the next couple plays for sure. Keeney ships for himself. It might have worked there. Has he got the ball? He has! He has! Keeney's clear! Keeney's clear! Keeney to win the game for the Gold Coast Titans out of absolutely nothing. Individual brilliance from the fullback. We know he can do it. Keanu Keeney, like a thief in the night, has stolen these 2 points from the grasp of the Brisbane Broncos. Absolute scenes. What? What? Oh, mate. Absolute rugby league. If that's not absolute rugby league, what the absolute hell is? God damn. Has he taken it cleanly? Has he taken it cleanly? More word he has. More word he has. Keanu. What? Incredible. Incredible. That is, bro.
This is superhuman. This is unbelievable.
It's actually that good. It's actually that good. Out of nothing. Out of absolutely nothing. What a play that is. What a play that is. Pandemically says, I can't help but laugh in my chair at the insanity of what's happening right now. Absolutely. That's an incredible play. Rugby League's about moments, and that is one of the great moments for the Gold Coast Titans.
He's Houdini. He's Houdini. Put him in the circus. Put him somewhere. He's too good for this game.
It is. Dan Ganane says it's one of the greatest tries in club history, if confirmed. It is. Like, given the context, it absolutely is. They're still looking at it. Come on, confirm it. Confirm it. There's a lot to look at. That angle from the back actually kind of made me think maybe knock on. No, he's taking it. Look, I'm seeing what I want to see. Confirmed! Yes! Yes! Hell yeah! Oh my actual stars. What is going on? That's such a great play. So at what point does Madge start feeling the heat? No. Damn. You know, I've been someone, I haven't really made this that public, but I've been someone who thought Keanu Keeney is really getting into the territory of an overrated player. We're talking about the magic that he delivers. I haven't really seen him deliver it that much in his career. That's a magical moment. That is an absolutely magical moment. I will let him have that. Campbell with the kick. Bang. 28 points to 23. Oh, I've accidentally put the away number ahead of my animation. Did not mean to do that. That's hilarious, though. Why is it... There's a lot of layers on this stream. I don't know why it was all the way up there, but that's hilarious. Wowzers. Glorious. Glorious. Look, it's not done. There's 3 minutes left. That's an eternity in rugby league, folks. This game's not over. They'll kick short for themselves here, Brisbane. They can score a try for your life. But it's a long... Oh, it's a long kickoff. That's what it is. Out on the full. You know Keanu Kearney dislike it? That's hilarious, but shout out Mexico. Holy. Okay, it's going to be Titans ball. 2 minutes 35 left. They could theoretically limit the Broncos to one more set. In fact, they should. If they can manage this game, they'll limit them to one more set. Which is wowzers. Let's see if they can do it. 3 minutes to go. Rugby league, folks. Rugby league. I'm doing an absolute rugby league post after this game, by the way. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. Harrison across the fine. Bo Fermor. Up over the 40 now. Jesus, this is scenes. This is rugby league, folks. This is rugby league. How can you not love this sport? How can you not get up and about for a moment like that? On the fourth here, Mo Fotuaika. Now pass going to dummy half. Across the fine, Cooper Bye. They're trucking it up. That's all they need to do. Nothing special. Play it safe. Play it calm. That's all you got to do. One more to go here in this set. Pasco. Gets it to Campbell. Puts a bomb up. It could have used a little bit more length on it, to be honest. Caught by Sami. Just die with it. Don't do anything. Don't do anything special. They die with it there. Broncos have a minute and a half to go the length of the rugby league field here. The length. Reynolds. Divine Katoni Staggs. Tackle there is the Australian international. Reynolds is in a dummy half here. A minute 20 to go now on the clock. Willison. Time's not really the factor. It's the tackle count that's the factor. That'll be the second there. They didn't really get much done there, but they're getting it out of their own end, and that's what matters. They spread it on this one. They've got numbers out there. They've got a 3-on-1 nearly. Walsh can't get around the tackle of Jojo Fafita, though, the Queensland representative, with an origin-level tackle. Halfway through this set, Mam now across to find Hunt. Short ball to find Payne Haas. Doesn't get an offload away, so that'll be the fourth. They're on the halfway line. One really good run here. They could be in field goal territory for Reynolds. They're not going towards the middle of the field, though. Karapani's in space on the edge. Is he going to kick back in field? The Titans have touched it. The Broncos have got it through Walsh. Oh, no. It's 6 more tackles. 36 seconds. The Titans defenses at 6s and 7s. Man puts a kick in behind. Anderson doesn't get it. Doesn't get it. That was not the play. No, Ezra. That was not the play. That was never the play. Ezra. You had so many tackles left. You forced a drop out? What? Ezra. Bro, I'm happy, but what? Kearney, he was there for the try-scoring moment, and he was there for the try-saving moment. Take a bow, young man. Take a bow. That's it. The Titans come away with one of the best wins in their club's history against the reigning premiers on a local derby night and at Suncorp Stadium. They had so much to play for here, the Brisbane Broncos, but they stood up in the moments they needed to the Gold Coast Titans, and that is absolutely incredible. Rugby league, this is the beautiful game. How could you not love this sport? It is the greatest thing on earth. It is the greatest game on earth. The Gold Coast get a win, and the Broncos, well, they have a lot of soul-searching left to do. They have a lot of soul-searching left to do. What a result. What a result. 108 people on YouTube. Thank every single one of you for being here. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. I do pretty much every single game. I'll be doing both games tomorrow and Monday. Tune in for those as well. We have a brilliant time for them. I really, really love doing this. 132? I can't stop streaming when there's 132 people watching. Guys, what a game. What an actual game. They're a club who are starved of success, who perennially underachieve, and who comes so close yet goes so far from getting wins. I spoke about how utterly depressing it must be to be a Gold Coast Titans fan, and yet in a moment like that, it would all be worthwhile. When you see your star boy in at fullback pulling off a win with a brilliant play, how can you not love it? How can you not absolutely love this game, bro? It is special. It is very, very special. Broncos, I don't know where they turn to, but for the Gold Coast Titans, celebrate this one. Very, very well deserved. I will leave it there. In the tradition that we usually have, we had 2 winners today. I will play their outro songs as we end the stream. But until tomorrow, we'll be doing both games and then Monday as well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.
It's time to see the Titans charge to victory. Go Titans!
Damn. I just realized I've never actually heard the full version of the Titans song because they never win games. That's kind of hilarious, actually. Wow. All right, bye.